Okay.
So the Super Mario Bros. Movie releases on home media sometime in May, apparently. I'm gonna have to grumble and finally buy Peacock, it seems. But until that digital release, I'm not quite able to make my The Scene That Changed the Super Mario Bros. Movie video yet. But I'm definitely gonna get into that. Heck, maybe I'll break down every single scene in this entire movie and make a super essay 4 times longer than the actual movie as a Christmas present. It was that good. Kinda. The Super Mario Bros. Movie is actually highlighting a whole new divide across people that's only now filtering out to a head. Because we all love dividing into 2 teams more and more these days.
Do you yield? I do not.
And that is between critics and audiences. If there's anything we've been learning more and more with each new movie installment, animated or no, it's that there's more and more of a disagreement of what makes a good movie. And I can't lie, I'm kind of in the center of this. I call all sorts of family films terrible despite bringing a lot of joy to a lot of people, so usually I'd be on the side of the cynical critics in this kind of debate. But I don't know, the Super Mario Bros. Movie is kind of turning me around. I watched this movie in cinemas during my mini holiday to Insomnia the Gaming Festival last weekend with a handful of friends, and I wholeheartedly was ecstatic about the whole thing. Yep, it's an Illumination movie, but it really felt like Nintendo had a chokehold on them for not making many poor choices. There was nary a fart joke in this entire runtime, though there was totally a scene that could have sneaked one in there that I'm certain is in some draft of this movie. But also, maybe Illumination aren't that bad. I liked Minions too, after all. So maybe I'm just coming around to them. The movie for a good chunk of people, looking at this movie as exclusively a movie and not a homage to a gigantically built world preset, saw this 92-minute origin story as mid. It's simple, it's to the point, predictable, and leaves no room for breathing. On the other hand, it's Super Mario, dude! Did you hear that soundtrack? Never did I think I was going to hear such obscure references in the audio, such as the likes of Mario Party Wario's Battle Cannon. The fact that there are so many references to pull from opens up to a whole new style of soundtracking a movie that I kind of wish more movies had. Just being able to dip into so many different themes for every single different motif and idea makes the soundtrack feel so much more electric and magical in comparison to the usual orchestral schmuck of reactive composing. The Super Mario movie does that too, all the time, like when Mario's smooshing around in the transparent pipes, but it's overshadowed by the pure insanity that is the soundtrack hopping onto every single iconic beat as it continues forward.
It's the only way to fly, man.
And then, of course, on the topic of references, there's everything non-audible. The visuals of every connection is almost exhausting if you're not hyped up enough to try and spot it all. The Punch-Out Pizzeria having all the Punch-Out characters framed, Disc-kun, the front store, DK's Temple from Mario Kart, King Boo, King Bob-omb, the original Jumpman, the Mario Kart cart selection, Baby Mario, a million Yoshis, all the assortment of Mario's moves from different games, wall kicks, dives, backflips, forward aerial. The fact that every single frame has you spotting at least 3 different references is the kind of attention to detail I want every animated movie to maintain. I mean, animators do put in essentially the same degree of time onto every single animated set piece, it's just usually spent on normal looking architecture that can't really bounce references from anything. But this is unending eye candy. And I love that it's all set in the 80s with its mainstream music choices and the aesthetic of everything. It all makes so much sense and works so well all together. And of course, there's the other Nintendo IPs out there. Star Fox's R-Wing on the television, Duck Hunt Duo, the GameCube ringtone with the Mii ID, Kid Icarus game, F-Zero poster, Ice Climber Polar Bear, and of course, that fine art Pikmin statue. Someone direct me to an Etsy page that can send me one of these.
We're faster than the others, you'll be hooked on the brothers.
All of it, everything, everywhere smashed at us all at the same time leaves my childhood me ecstatic at all the things to point at. And maybe that is enough to bolster a movie art. Yeah, the story's not that mind-bending. It's nice that Princess Peach got more of a girl boss approach, 1v30ing everyone in a totally not Elsa nod during the wedding breakup, and I could always do with more Luigi. It's great that Mario finally has some character to him and a voice that melted away into the character. I'll give Chris Pratt that. Do you think trailers are now starting to intentionally use bad, unused takes of their performance to stoke up the controversy around it and get more buzz around their movies? But the point of a movie is to entertain, and what it doesn't have in narrative smarts, it has in visual and comedic droves.
Excuse me, everybody, coming through! This guy's brother is going to die imminently!
Sure, I still had a couple of eye rolls. I think the existential Luma child is a bit basic, as is gags like Toad in a monster truck. That one Donkey Kong shot that is nothing but him doing the Seth Rogen laugh, and I despise the Mamma Mia recurring bit. It's just weird. Why not stick to Mario's dad saying it at the end? Why you gotta use the line another time in another context? But hey, Charles Martinet was a fine addition to Mario's extended family, though admittedly, I didn't even notice him the first time through. And though I disliked some more Illumination feeling moments, it still hits for other crowds. I had a friend who loved the Luma more than anything else. Didn't know I had a middle-aged mum for a friend, but movies are all about teaching you new things anyway. So maybe I'm on the wrong side of the critics' argument with me enjoying such a simplistic movie just because it had references I could point out the entire time. But at the end of the day, though I do have this platform to ramble about movies for some reason, my filmographic background is a degree in film production. A university course that spent 1 hour telling me the buttons on a camera and then 3 years just telling me to go out there and make stuff with different limitations and priorities each time. I'm not really a critic. I see myself more as just another audience reviewer. I have thoughts and opinions, but my knowledge doesn't extend too much into the professional level. I just happen to know what lens aberration is. The Super Mario movie is a movie that is splitting critics and audiences in half. Critics don't know what fun is, and audiences don't know what is good entertainment. Or maybe it's just Rotten Tomatoes' problem the whole time. Everybody's wrong! Whatever the case, with this movie easily blowing away the competition of animated movie successes, being from the defining money maker company and video games' Mickey Mouse, we're gonna be seeing a lot more video IPs gunning for that top billion-dollar spot.
The only hope is the sweet relief of death.
Whoa! Oh, you've got to be kidding me!
They're already killing it with The Last of Us and Sonic the Hedgehog. Can't wait to see when Bubsy gets his shining 2-hour feature next. Now just give me a Zelda production and a Metroid from an entirely different animation studio, plug in a Pikmin short beforehand and lead up to a Smash Bros. Cinematic universe that nabs Detective Pikachu and live-action Sonic, and we'll be good to go. Heck, we already have 4 out of 8 of the original roster already. And if you are interested in a Smash Bros. Cinematic Universe idea, check out, I have not looked at this since it released, an ancient video I made about this very topic 4 years ago, before I even covered movie content in general. It was gaming back then. All about the potential for an NCU, talking Sonic, Detective Pikachu, and this Mario movie. It's been a long time coming, if I even knew about it back then. But yeah, that's my rambling thoughts about the movie so far. Jack Black is a national treasure. They never should have animated him in a jar.
Bowser is coming.
I want more soundtrack ear candy and visual eye candy. And maybe I don't care about specific story after all. Just have fun. And give me a Paper Mario reference next time. Time to wait for May so I can really sink my teeth into this movie for 20 minutes or several hours. For now, my name's been Dazz, you didn't really care, and I'll see you in a bit.